Hello? Oh, hi, darling.
Half a world away, another day. So let's go play on the moon. It's a starry place. We embrace the space while we're miles away on the moon.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of On the Other Line. I am your host, Kelly Keegs. What's going on? How are you? Happy Wednesday. It is Wednesday in your world right now. It's Friday morning in my world. And I need to complain a little bit before we even get into the topic. First of all, Gia, how you doing in the booth? How are you today?
I'm good. I'm a little tired.
I'm also a little tired.
Yes.
This is so
early
it's the crack
for
of dawn.
Friday.
It's the crack of dawn.
For Barstool Sports, getting to the office before 10:30 is the crack of dawn.
It is. It really is. I didn't have time to do my eye patches this morning, so I feel extra haggard, but like it's fine. I wore my Taylor Swift shirt to make it a little bit better. That's what we got going on here. But yes, so we are pre-recording this as we speak. Miss Gia will be a director, producer extraordinaire for our in-house celebrity, Brianna Chicken Fry, up in Boston. So that'll be exciting. And I will be tipping back probably my 20th bottle of wine in Sonoma, California. So looking forward to that. Personally, the reason I am all over the place today and a ball of nerves is because I leave for Sonoma today. I leave in a couple of hours. Gia, I haven't packed a single thing.
Why?
No,
I have
I'm
that
sick.
same trait.
I'm sick to my stomach.
I either pack at like 2 a.m. the night before, and then I
Yes.
don't even remember what I put in my bag.
Yes.
Or I pack like 30 minutes before I have to leave, and then I'm just unbelievably stressed for the rest of the day.
I am always the 2 a.m. packer, and I'm usually pretty good about it. I work well in the middle of the night. That's my time. I love that everyone's asleep. I don't have that feeling of FOMO, like I'm missing out on a conversation or I need to be talking to somebody, or if I leave my phone, I'm gonna get an important text or an email, whatever the fuck. I love a middle of the night pack. Yesterday, I don't know what I did with myself. I couldn't tell you one thing that I did yesterday. I did like a blog, I did a couple like video things that were work related, and then everything else, the day is a blur. I don't know what the fuck I was doing, but my intention was to pack yesterday slowly and surely, lay it all out, throw it in my suitcase, just, kind of get on top of things. Because usually I am that 2 a.m. packer, and I knew that we had to wake up early today to do this, and then I was gonna have to go pretty much right to the airport afterwards. It just wasn't in the cards for me. I did nothing. Around 4:30 in the morning, I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna have to go to sleep and wake up at 8 o'clock, and then do the prep for this show at 8 o'clock, which I also couldn't do yesterday. I don't know what my fucking problem was. I was dead to the world yesterday mentally. I just had no brain. I am now just, kicking myself right in the face because I can't believe the amount of anxiety I have right now ahead of this flight. Like normally I am fine with flying. I have no problem, whatever. It's the packing. And because I'm going for a week, I have to have cute outfits. I'm going to be in wine country. Like it's just too much stress. I can't believe I did this to myself. I'm really kicking myself. So we're getting into pop culture today. We're going to do a little pop culture roundup. Obviously it is not live, so you can't call in. I'm sorry, but I think we have enough to get through this whole hour without anybody else's input. I think that me and Gia could just tackle this and give you guys a little bit of information on what's been going on the past 6 months in the year 2022, year of our Lord. And I'm just gonna try not to, I'm just gonna choke back vomit this entire time with my anxiety. Like I don't know why I'm so anxious. I know it'll get done and I know it'll be fine. Another thing too is that I'm flying out of JFK, which I fucking hate. I always specifically don't let me fly out of JFK. I hate it there. I live on the west side, so it's like very far for me to get over there. There's always a shit ton of traffic. Many times I've gotten there too late because of the traffic that I couldn't check my bag, or too late that they had to like bump me on the next flight or whatever the fuck. It's infuriating, and I'm not an irresponsible traveler normally. I'm usually pretty early for the airport because I like to have little bubbles at the airport before I get on my flight.
Kelly, you should take the train.
I did that once, and it also took a long fucking time.
It takes a long time, but the traffic to JFK is such an absolute nightmare that I feel like if you leave yourself like 2 or 3 hours before your flight, take the train like
I'm thinking about
whatever,
it.
like 2 hours before, or 2 hours before you're supposed to get there because it takes about an hour on the train.
Right, it takes a while. So
but
last
you
time I
avoid
did
sitting
it,
in an Uber, sitting in
That's
a
so
what,
true.
$100 Uber for
Yes, they
so
are.
long.
I just checked the fucking prices
Yeah.
right now. They're like $90 and it's 10:30 in the morning. I'm like, what the hell is going on? And it's a Friday, so it's like, what the fuck? You know, it's a nightmare. But all right, so I got to think about what I need to do. My flight's not till 5. I board at 4:30. I guess I got to leave by 1:30. I think, I don't know what my problem is. Again, I can't get past this. I really just need to focus on the task at hand, which is this show On the Other Line. So let's just talk about this stuff. Gia, let us set the mood for our viewers. All right, setting the mood. It feels so weird not having the laptop here. I always am like looking at it throughout the show just because I'm always curious about it and it distracts me, so it's funny that it's not there. All right, I have a little list of things that move the needle in terms of pop culture. I think that we all know when I say pop culture, I'm meaning like the things that end up in the news, the things that end up on TMZ, on E! News, on Page 6. Those kind of things are the things that we're talking about, those big moments that just kind of come out of your soul and, or come out of the soul of the internet, I guess I should say, and just, you know, make its rounds for a couple of days. And suddenly it's a pop culture moment that lives in infamy. I feel like that happens so often, but there are a few categories, I think, for these news stories, and this is my little list that I made. And Gia, tell me if you agree with my list. I have engagements, weddings, babies, divorces, any kind of court, infidelity, hotness or ugliness. Like if you're looking really hot, they'll definitely post about it. And if you're looking really hideous, they're gonna post about it, you know, all that. Rehab, anybody going to rehab, that's always an automatic story. And death. You're always gonna make it on the news if you die. That's just a fact. I have a fear of, and this maybe I'm like a narcissist. I'm not exactly sure where this places me on like a scale of self-importance, but I have a fear that I will be upstaged in my death. Like I don't want someone else more important than me to die on my death day. Like I want it all to myself. Like I don't want to share it. I don't want somebody else to come through. Like all I remember happening, and this is such a weird example, but all I remember happening is that Michael Jackson and Farrah Fawcett both died on the same day, and which is obviously sad. R.I.P. Farrah Fawcett. Michael Jackson, well, he was canceled kind of. So the upstaging that Michael Jackson did to poor Farrah Fawcett, who was also an icon and beautiful and wonderful, and everybody loved her. But Michael Jackson was like, oh my God, I can't believe this. And his story was scandalous. Like the whole thing that, you know, that maybe his doctor murdered him. Like there was so much behind that story that poor Farrah Fawcett, everybody forgot about her. So I don't want to get Farrah Fawcetted. I don't want that to happen to me in my death. So I'm a little paranoid about that. Engagements, my favorite about engagements are, of course, the ring. You always have to see the ring. You always want to see, you know, how it was done. Was it around family? Was it around, like, I don't know, all kinds of, was there a big setup? Like Kourtney Kardashian and Travis Barker, when they got engaged, he did a whole, like, traditional, not even traditional, but he did, like, a whole big scene for the proposal. I feel like there are a lot of people now that do this big scene. They cover the ground in roses. They'll do lights, candles, whatever, blah, 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 the beach. And that's what he ended up doing. And that's always going to make the news. People love to see that shit on Instagram. They love to see what other people are doing. They love to rip off ideas also. I bet that there are several hoes out there getting engaged this year that have a very similar look to whatever Travis Barker did for Kourtney Kardashian. So that's always interesting. Right along with the engagements are the breakups if they don't get married. I love to check the clock on how long they were engaged. That was a really fun thing when Pete Davidson and Ariana Grande got engaged, just like counting the days of how long that was going to last. I think they lasted like 2 or 3 months. And then, you know, I forget exactly how that all fell apart. I think maybe Mac Miller died like right around that time. And then it was like, all right, what are we doing? This is crazy. I don't know. I'm pretty sure Pete Davidson bought that big ass ring for her. Like, I'm not quite sure. So he's out there just like dropping millions on jewelry for these hoes. And I don't know. Gia, are you caught up on new Kardashians at the moment?
I am not, but
I caught up yesterday.
On TikTok, I basically get the whole show.
Of course, yeah.
Like all the good moments at least, you know? Like I feel like
yeah. They put all the clips.
The Kardashian, yeah, all the good clips are always on TikTok.
Yeah.
And then most of the show is just filler stuff anyways from the
Agreed.
like the good stuff's at the beginning and the end.
Agreed, totally agree. So for those who are not caught up, I won't spoil too much, but I guess by this time you should have seen it. We got a new episode coming out tomorrow, allegedly Thursday, but the I'm trying to think of the word. The like nurturing that Pete Davidson does for Kim is really sweet. Like, so she talks a lot about him.
The dibs clip was very cute.
The dibs thing was so fucking cute. Like, it's like, and she just goes on and on about how sweet he is and how he just thinks of little things and whatever. And I think that she's just loving having like a normal, sweet boyfriend. And they're on our list of people to talk about when as far as pop culture goes in the year of 2022. I think that that they just like. I don't know. He's a smooth operator. I think that it's very clear that he has that BD everybody wants to talk about, which I'm kind of sick of everybody saying that. I think it's like an annoying thing. It's now like become lame. I'm sure he's feeling the exact same way, but it's facts. I mean, bitches love him. Kate Beckinsale was dating him for a while. Phoebe Dynevor. We had, I think, No, Kaya Gerber. No. She's dating Austin Butler right now, and she was dating Jacob Elordi before.
She did date Pete Davidson, though.
Did she?
Yes.
I fucking knew it.
Yes.
And I was thinking to myself, like, there's no way Kaya Gerber is dating Jacob Elordi, Austin Butler, and also Pete Davidson. But,
but
there
she
it
is. Yeah.
There it is. What is the fucking deal with this man? So I don't know. And then Kim said something interesting on the show. Kim, my friend, said something interesting on her own show, The Kardashians, and she said, she was like, Pete said, like, oh, give it 4 months and you'll be in love with me or whatever. And I was like, okay, like, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And right now, that to me is like, I know that kind of guy. I know that exact kind of guy. And he's right. And Kim is going to be obsessed with him. They're going to get married. Like, I am convinced that they're going to get married. She is letting herself get swept up in this like lovey-dovey moment, and I'm happy for her. I think it's fantastic. I think Pete is an impulsive person and also just kind of follows his heart and goes along with what he's feeling. And I think the two of them together equals like this power couple somehow. I don't understand it, but I look forward to their future engagement if we get to see it. All this kind of goes in the same vein when it comes to weddings. I think that everybody wants to see what's going on with the wedding. Everybody wants to see how much money they spent on a wedding, who was there, what did everybody wear, what did the dress look like, did the groom cry, all the typical stuff that you would want to know about a regular wedding of people that you actually know. But with a celebrity, it's just heightened. I mean, we had Britney Spears and her fiance Sam get married last night. I know this is a couple days old, but they got married, and I don't know what she wore yet. I don't know anything. We don't really know the details because, unfortunately, her little wedding was overshadowed by her first husband, who she was married to for 55 hours, something fucking crazy like that, and in Vegas, who's just been stalking her ever since. This is in 2004. They were married for 55 hours. He's been stalking her ever since, and he showed up at her fucking house and was live streaming it. He like broke into her house and was live streaming from inside her foyer, and it's fucking crazy. And like, so something's always going on with the wedding. There's always a little bit of drama, whatever level of drama that is, like, we don't even know. Gia, my time is up. My timer's off a little bit. How long do you think until I should pop to a commercial? Usually you start on the thing.
Yeah, like 2 minutes.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
Okay, just checking. Just working in real time. We'll go down to babies. Everybody wants to see newborn babies. Everybody wants to see a baby on Instagram. Everybody wants to see the picture of the little hand holding the thumb. Like, there's always some shit like that. The feet, everybody sees a little picture of the baby feet. Maybe it's just its little hat, something along those lines. Celebrity babies, I'm trying to think of a good comparison for celebrity babies in terms of people's obsession for them. I think people just love to see celebrities acting like regular human beings. And what is more common than just like having a kid? I feel like people relate to celebrities more once they have kids. Like, Kim Kardashian's had however many kids, whatever, she takes care of her kids. Yeah, sure, she has nannies, but she's pretty hands-on regardless. But at some point that Kim Kardashian's definitely gotten puked on by one of her kids. Like, that normalizes her a little bit. Like, that makes her a little more down to earth, a little more human. I think that's why people really love to see babies from celebrities. Also, they're just adorable, always. Like, that's a thing that it's tough because you always want to know what celebrities' kids are going to look like when they're older. Like, are they going to look just like their parents? Are they going to be like gorgeous? Like Kate Moss has kids, and all the like famous models and the famous actors who are so handsome. Like all those people, it's like, oh, are they going to look just like their parents and whatever? That's all anybody wants to talk about when it comes to kids. Divorces also. Divorces. Speaking of marriage and babies and weddings. Divorces are a huge topic that everybody loves to look at. Everybody loves to talk about them. I love a divorce because I love to see the mess. I love to see why. Why did they get divorced? Was there cheating? Was there stealing? Was there money involved? Did they just fall out of love? Oh, that's so sweet when they, it's not sweet, but it's like a sad end to a romance. It makes it also real. Like I find that relatable. Whereas, maybe other people are like, man, they're heartbroken. Celebrities are just like us. Poor Jennifer Aniston has been dragged through the media for literally years of her entire life because she's been in and out of relationships. Like everyone's always like, poor Jen, blah, blah, blah. It's ridiculous. But let's hit a break real quick and then we'll come back and keep going with this. And welcome back to On the Other Line. I'm your host, Kelly Keegs. Today we are talking about a little bit about pop culture and doing a pop culture roundup for the year so far. Right now I'm just kind of going into the kinds of things that make the news pop, the things that we all want to see. I just ended on divorces. Right in line with divorces, like I said, I love to see the mess. It's great. Any kind of court at all always ends up in the news somehow. I know that like Blac Chyna and Rob Kardashian have been in and out of court all this year. She's trying to sue the family. I honestly don't even know what the fuck Blac Chyna was up to, but I do know that all the court proceedings were everywhere, so that's something in its own. And something interesting that we could all see. And then of course, obviously, Johnny Depp and Amber Heard is the big court, court of the year that I don't think more people watched like a court case. I don't know. I was trying to think back to like something, Casey Anthony. Like I feel like everybody watched that live on TV. I can't remember another like something that we all watched live on TV within the past 10 years. You know what I mean? So I don't know. That was fucking crazy. Let's see what else. Infidelity. We always want to hear about who's cheating. You always want to see pictures. Remember Justin Timberlake was like holding hands with that girl when he is, obviously married to Jessica Biel. That was fucking crazy. I don't even know how long ago that was, but that was wild. Apparently he was drunk and it was just like one of his good friends and he was just leaning on her or whatever. I don't know. All I know is that it looked fucking sketchy. And if that was my boyfriend or husband in that scenario, he should just not come home for a little while. Like I need to forget those images because they're going to be burned in my brain. But again, I love the mess, especially when it comes to the media on that kind of shit. Hotness and ugliness. I put this on here specifically because I love the segment. I think the New York Post does this all the time. I'm not sure who exactly like coined the phrase where it's like good genes or good docs. And they always do like a pic of somebody who is looking good and they're questioning whether or not they actually look good because they are aging gracefully or because they've had work done. And I think that it's just so fucking mean. Like everything about it is mean. Commenting on people's appearances, it's always mean, but it's always funny too, usually. Like I'm usually laughing, so I don't know. People comment on my appearance all the time. Maybe that's why I'm kind of like whatever about it, but it has to get old after a while when you're like 25 years in and being a major celebrity and everyone's wondering whether or not you got a nose job and you don't want to like divulge you got a nose job. I mean, that sucks. Even though I don't know why you wouldn't. I feel like at this point, if you got a nose job, you got a nose job. If you get Botox, you get Botox. If you have all this shit going on, whatever, who gives a fuck? Nobody's real anymore anyway, so what does it matter? But then also like the ugliness, like I said, they love taking pictures of people just, taking the trash cans to the bottom of their driveway. I feel like that's a common photo of celebrities that always gets always gets put up and posted out everywhere. They're always wearing like a grout fit, just looking like shit, gray up, matching top and bottom, like bringing their trash bins like up from the street with like a messy bun and no makeup and looking like garbage. And, people just snap a pic, TMZ posts it and says, wow, what happened to so-and-so? Like, what's going on here? Oh, you know what that actually reminds me of? Gia, have you seen the show Hacks on HBO?
I have not.
Oh, it's so good. That's what I did yesterday. I like watched that whole show. It's like 2 seasons, the whole thing. It's Jean Smart. She's fantastic. I think that she's won like an Emmy or a Golden Globe recently for it, or maybe it was nominated. I forget. It's like a critically acclaimed show. It's fantastic. It's about Jean Smart. She's like an older stand-up comedian. She was huge in her earlier days. Now she's just a little bit older, but she has this big resurgence, and it's whatever. It's amazing. It's hilarious. But at one point, her daughter is like taking or hired a celebrity paparazzi photographer to take photos of her mom. Her daughter's played by Sweet D from Always Sunny in Philadelphia, fucking hilarious. Hires like a paparazzi guy to sit outside her mother's house and take ugly photos of her doing exactly this, and then she can like sell them to TMZ and make money off of it herself. It's so crazy. And Jean Smart like knows this is happening, and she just like lets her daughter do it. It's just it's ridiculous, but it really cracked me up, and it's a really good show, so I highly suggest it if you are into that kind of thing. But yeah, that's just, people love to take pictures when you're at your worst and post them all over the place. I would say rehab, like I said, it's pretty self-explanatory. Anybody going to rehab, anybody going to Passages Malibu, we're all trying to hear about it. Who's the other one? Betty Ford. Yeah, that's a good one. Just trying to think of the ones that people talk about all the time that always end up in the news. I wonder, now that I'm thinking about it, like I know about Passages Malibu and I know about Betty Ford because they're always in the news. I wonder if those clinics are like, you know, they're obviously celebrity based because they're so expensive. The only people that can like afford to go there are celebrities, but I'm starting to get a little bit woke. Like, are they trying to market themselves? Like, are they making sure that these celebrities end up at their places so they can write about it in the news? Are they trying to get people to come through Betty Ford and stuff and Passages Malibu? That's like a joke I've made for 25 years, Passages Malibu. That sounds like a fucking vacation. It's obviously a rehab center in Malibu and it's like gorgeous on the beach and everybody says like how beautiful it is there despite it being a rehab center. But I mean, I don't know. I would go. I would pack my bags tomorrow if somebody told me I had to go. And death, I already talked about. I already talked about my fear about being upstaged in death, a la Farrah Fawcett. Can't have that happen, but it will end up on the news regardless. I wonder if my death would end up on the news. I think about that also sometimes. All of you fucking bitches better post like a lot of funny things about me if I ever die. Like I don't care how old I am. Like if I ever die, as if it won't happen. I don't care how old I am. I could be 96 years old and I still want like the photos of me, you know, like falling over drunk on my face. I want them all on Twitter or whatever is the platform at the time when we're all a billion years old. I need everybody to post a million photos of me all the time. Like I need that attention even in death. You think that I won't need it because, oh, she's dead, she won't see it. No, 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 I'm gonna see it. I'm gonna know somehow, I will know. And everybody better show up for me then because that's the time when I'm gonna need it most. I'll tell you what. All right, Gia, let's get into some of these DMs and into the actual moments of 2022 that have happened so far that have us on the edge of our seat when it comes to pop culture. Kylie changing her baby's name. Yes, and we don't know the name of her baby yet still. She named the baby Wolf, and then everybody was like, oh wow, everybody names their baby Wolf or some shit like that. And then she just was like, just kidding, the baby's name is not Wolf anymore. And now we haven't heard any update in a long time. I wanna say weeks, maybe months. What is Kylie's baby's name? I have no idea. Are they ever gonna announce it? That baby's kinda old at this point. It was born in February. I know, because it was like a 2222 birthday or something. We have to know her baby's name. I feel like it's been a long time to think about it. What do they call that baby? You know what I mean? Like they just call it baby running around. Like it has to have a name at this point. And I also, for the record, liked the name Wolf. I understand that it's like it's a weird name, whatever. But I've been coming around on these like weird names because I don't, every Joe Blow walking down the street is named like Mike or Jason or whoever. I'm just like, I just was listing my friends' fiancés and husbands. Like, I don't know why I just did that, but they got basic names. Kelly's a basic ass name. Like all these names that we all have presently are basic as fuck. If my name is Wolf, like what kind of, that's a great name to live up to. It's got good, good nicknames. I don't know. I feel like that's a good name to have. I don't know why she wanted to get rid of it. I guess it felt too basic for her. I forget who else like named their kid Wolf right at the exact same time, but Kylie was not fucking with it. So we still don't know that baby's name. It's the unnamed baby. Let's move on to the next one. Harry Styles' wardrobe. Harry Styles has been on a fucking tear this year. He obviously has come out with a new album. I think a DM later talks about that. Came out with a new album. He performed at Coachella. He has worn just like an unbelievable amount of outfits. Like I think my ideal closet at the moment is Harry Styles' closet. And I'm not kidding. I love his style.
He's been kind of in a jumpsuit phase recently.
Very much so.
I don't know how I feel about. I like him in a jumpsuit, the idea of him in a jumpsuit, but the ones that he has been wearing recently,
yes,
like The one that he did, he wore one for one night only in London.
The like red one.
Yeah, and it was just like kind of like ill-fitting.
Yes.
And like kind of weird. And the one that he wore for Good Morning America was terrible.
Sometimes, yes. The jumpsuits, I'm not totally on board with the jumpsuits. I like the trousers look. I think the trousers look nice on him. I think the jumpsuits themselves, you're right, are ill-fitting. And I think it is tough to make a jumpsuit, especially a pants jumpsuit with sleeves, look like anything other than like a service uniform, like a plumber or a gas station attendant or something along those lines. That's just, those are common uniforms for those professions, and a lot of jumpsuits look just like them. And I know that that's like a style and whatever, but that's the only thing probably of Harry's that I'm not into. But he is, I like his little patterned sweaters. I like the trousers. I like the boas, the glasses, the hair is looking amazing. The shoes are unbelievable. He's just, I think is settling into his style, which is just unique to him. And he's confident and he's fantastic in it. So overall, I am on board with Harry Styles' entire wardrobe, and I would probably take over his closet for sure. Let's see what's next. Kourtney's wedding, 100%. Oh yeah, for sure. Kourtney's wedding. I think that that the fact that they got married like 4 different times, like they had their Vegas wedding where they were just practicing, they had the courthouse wedding in LA, and then they had the big blowout in Italy. I think that, actually now that I lay it all out, it doesn't sound so crazy. I think that like we just made such a big deal. The Vegas one was like a silly, fun thing that they just did. The courthouse one was like, everybody has a courthouse wedding. Like you have to sign your papers somewhere, and usually people go to the courthouse. I have a friend who did that last week. She's not getting married till September or October. I have another friend doing it this week and not getting married till September. A lot of people do that ahead of time and are technically married or whatever. But with Kourtney and Travis, they make a big deal out of everything. So it made it seem like they had 3 full weddings. The Italy wedding was something. I think that Positano will never be the same. I think we talked about this a couple weeks ago, that that they're going to be overrun with tourists for the rest of time. The Kardashians got married there, so God forbid, not everybody gets to go see it. I think that that the guest list on that wedding was really interesting. Everybody wanted to know what was going on. The fact that they all had to like arrive by boat, that was pretty pimp. Like there were certain elements to that wedding that really made it interesting. Obviously the decor, all of their outfits were crazy. They're all like gothic and romantic and strange and fun, and just a departure from like a usual wedding. So everybody was so into it and so obsessed with it. And people just, they like Kourtney and Travis. They're in on however many people want to say that they are sick of the PDA, they're sick of hearing about them, whatever. They genuinely seem happy together, and especially, just like happy in love. Same thing on the new Kardashians special. If you haven't caught up yet, they are doing this cleanse where they like can't have sex, they can't drink, they can't exercise, they can't do anything, no caffeine, whatever, for like a few weeks, because they're trying to like jumpstart Kourtney's fertility again. Like they're dealing with fertility issues, and so they're doing all of these crazy like natural things to try to have a baby. And the way that they talk to each other, it's as if they like don't spend a moment without each other. Like Kourtney at one point was explaining like, listen, I'm on a lot of medicine for my hormones, and so if I'm just like in a bad mood, it's because of that, not because of you. And he's like, a bad day with you is worse than not having you at all. And I was like, God, Travis is just so sweet. And she's like, oh, I forgot my pills. Should I go up and get them? I'll go up and get them. I'll be right back. And it's like they're just in their own house together. It's not so crazy that she's like, oh, I'll be right back. I promise. I'll come right back down. It's like they're just attached at the hip. It's wild. So I think the wedding, everybody was interested to see it actually go down. The fact that Travis Barker is traveling all over the place is also interesting. Seems like Kourtney helped him conquer his fear of flying. Obviously, he was in a horrible plane crash with a bunch of people who perished, unfortunately, and he did not. So he had this aversion to flying for a long time. And now Italy's his new spot. So good for him, good for them. Love to hear it, love to see it. The Will Smith slap. I think that this might be the biggest one that has happened this year so far. I think that it blew over pretty quickly in terms of like, I don't know, things that have happened. As far as things that have happened at the Oscars, it lasted a long time. It lasted several weeks, and usually if something happens at the Oscars, it's in the news for a couple of days and then people stop caring about it. This was like a worldwide discussion for weeks about whether or not this was right, whether or not it was wrong. Is it an anger thing? Is he sticking up for his wife? Is Chris Rock in the wrong? Like, what's going on here? Is this like was there more to the story? Why is he going after this woman? Like, it's all kinds of shit that people were talking about. And I just, I'm not really sure like where everybody stands on it now. Like, do people still really care about it? I, at this point, like, don't give a fuck. I think it was like a weird macho move by Will Smith to do this, but otherwise, I just don't fucking care.
It's also crazy because he won the Oscar after.
Right. Oh my God.
So like that was
like, that
just
is
one of the
crazier.
biggest parts about it. I think like, yeah, the slap happened and it was crazy, and that was like one of the biggest parts talked about it. But the fact that he won and then came up on stage and was like crying and it was so awkward.
Ooh, it was
and like
awkward.
he didn't like, he mentioned it but in like a philosophical way. Yeah, the whole thing was just so crazy cringe, and I think that it was talked about so much that now it doesn't seem as big of a deal because people are tired of talking about it.
100%, right. Like it definitely lost steam after a certain point because everybody was just sick of talking about it. And you're right that I honestly just now forgot that he like won the Oscar and gave a speech right after. Like I feel like the rest of that show was a blur. And in that time, oh my God, I'm also remembering, in that time when Will Smith was like accepting his award for King Richard, the movie about Serena and Venus Williams' father, Richard. Great movie, by the way. He won the award for that, and they kept cutting to Venus and Serena, and I forget which one of them, but one of their boobs was out.
Venus kept having a nip slip.
So it's like we got the slap going on, then he wins, and he's trying to give a speech. He's got Denzel sitting on the side, reminding him to like think about God and talk about God in the speech, and they keep trying to cut to the Williams sisters, and there's a titty out. Like it's just what the fuck was that about? It was just like one thing after another. It was just a major blunder on live TV and just some crazy shit. I don't even fucking know. But let's hit another break real quick and then we'll come back and keep talking about crazy moments. Welcome back to On the Other Line. I am your host, Kelly Keegs. We are going through people's favorite pop culture moments of 2022 so far. We just finished talking about the Will Smith slap heard around the world, the awkward speech after, Venus's titty being out, whole thing. Let's move on from that. Taylor Swift, obviously, getting a doctorate because it's about time people see her as the genius goddess that she is. Yes, thank you, Kate McCarthy _, for bringing this up because I have a bone to pick with everybody about this. And I can't remember if I talked about it when it happened in real time on this show because I never remember anything that I say when I'm sitting here. But Taylor Swift got an honorary doctorate from NYU because they host a course that is like on Taylor Swift. It's a breakdown of her music and how she writes her lyrics, where she gets inspiration from. It's like an art class. It's like a music and art class that is about her. And I believe that she's come in and like done a couple of speeches in the lecture or whatever, or has helped with the curriculum. She was involved in it somehow, actually. And they gave her an honorary doctorate degree from NYU because honestly, this bitch has been working. I was saying that like, I understand the people that put hours and hours and all this time and money into a doctorate and whatever, and that's amazing. But celebrities don't need to do those things. So I feel like it's nice when they do get honorary doctorates or whatever, just kind of, it's like, all right, yes, you're recognized as a famous celebrity, whatever, but people also take you seriously and respect the work that you've like done and put out and whatever. And I just feel like it's an exciting thing. And at the time, a lot of people were like kind of shitting on it. Like I was talking about how I thought it was exciting, almost just as exciting as like working towards this goal, to realize that you've been working towards a goal like this without even realizing it. I feel like that's just, it's like, oh my God, I can't believe like all my hard work and I'm getting acknowledged for it in a way that isn't just like a Grammy or some, you know, superficial, whatever the fuck. Like I am actually being awarded and something from an institution that I respect that is now showing me that they respect me back. I don't know. I feel like it's amazing. And I feel like that was incredible. Her commencement speech for their graduation this year was unbelievable. It was full of like, you know, silly little lines, some inside jokes for Taylor fans. I can't imagine though, if you're in that NYU graduating class and you don't like Taylor Swift, like people hate her. People really are like not fucking with her if they don't like her, which you know, obviously those people are, they're just the cockroaches of society.
The hoes were so mad on Twitter after
So
this
fucking
happened.
pissed. So fucking pissed. Like,
So
what?
mad
Why
that
were
she
they
said
so
that she
fucking
got
pissed?
like she said that she like made a joke about getting like canceled.
Yeah.
And people were
Where's
so
fucking
mad.
Jack Mac? Get
yeah,
his ass
Jack
in
Mac
here.
was
That's what
so
I wanna,
mad
that's what I want
that
to fight about. He's like, oh,
Yeah.
because they didn't like, right? She said like, oh, I was canceled and whatever. Yes, she
Yeah.
didn't like do something to be
Yes.
canceled like other people,
Yes.
but she was fucking canceled.
She was canceled. People hated her.
Hated her.
Yes.
People dragged her through
Yes.
the fucking mud for years.
Yep.
And it was fucked up. And it was before people were like really like getting present day canceled for things that they were actually doing.
Yes.
Like this was just like
Yes.
a public execution that she went through, and she deserves this fucking doctorate
Yeah.
as a result. Like she went through all that, and she can say I was canceled because she was fucking canceled. So I don't understand why everybody was so mad about her like her word usage there. Everyone is just so fucking literal. And if you don't know the history of Taylor Swift, then don't have an opinion on it. That's what I don't understand. Ugh. Anyway, so shout out to this girl for recognizing our precious queen and Lord and Savior Taylor Swift for getting her doctorate. Let us move on. I'm too hyped for this early in the morning, especially about Taylor Swift. I feel like pop culture so far has been boring. Bring back the 2000s drama. I'll say this. I don't disagree here. I think that 2000s drama was just a lot more juicy. I think that now we see stuff in the news every single day. We know what everybody's up to every single day. Everybody's on guard every single day for fear of being in the news for some sort of like pop culture situation, if it's good or bad or whatever the fuck. Everybody's like worried about being on, on page 6 or something. I think in the 2000s, people just kind of got away with shit. Like there weren't camera phones. I mean, there were kind of, but there weren't. It was a lot harder to get caught doing weird stuff. So I feel like there was a lot more scandal. It was just like a lot more fun. And it was all kind of breaking news. Like the minute anybody hears a whisper of something that's happening now, people are like, oh my God, what? And then that's it pretty much. Like in the 2000s, we had to wait until it was a confirmed fucking story and it was printed in Star Magazine, like for us to understand what the hell was going on. And at that point, that was our only news source. We were just blindly believing these tabloids, which are obviously all bullshit. But I feel like we're smarter now. It's the reason the drama isn't as good is just because we're smarter. We know that shit's fake. We know that people make stuff up for clickbait. Like people, they just make up stories or embellish stories to sell magazines, whatever it is, blah, blah, blah. We all are a little more wise in that way. But I liked the ignorance that I had. I liked thinking like, oh my God, I can't believe this couple is breaking up, but now this week they're having a baby. It's like I loved the back and forth. It made it a lot lighter, I feel, where it just was like a casual conversation versus now we have such insight to all these people's lives all the time that they feel like more like real people, which I guess is good that they feel like real people. So we treat them more like real people, but I don't know. I miss the days where everybody was a spectacle. I'm with this girl. The benefit engagement. I forgot they were engaged until I saw this. I completely fucking forgot that Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez are engaged again. That, to me, was one of the most wild things that's happened this year. She obviously had a big breakup with A-Rod. They were dating for a while. They were very much in love. I thought they were getting married 100%. They were engaged. I forgot about that, too. They were just seemingly so perfect for each other. Their kids got along. It seemed great, whatever. It sounds like, I'm not really sure why they broke up. I think it had a lot to do with like the weird DMs that like A-Rod was sending to people, I guess. And J-Lo was like, I'm not involved. I don't want to be involved in this mess. Like, I don't know what the real stories are, but all of this is sketchy. And if all of this shit's going to keep coming out, I don't want any part of it. She's leaving. She meets back up with Ben Affleck, who she hasn't dated or been engaged to, married to, whatever, since the 2000s. And they're just giving it a go again. And they seem to still be going strong. They're still engaged. They're still hanging out. We're still seeing paparazzi pics of them. J-Lo's on like some kind of movie tour right now. What's the movie that she has going on right now or something going on? It's not that shit with Owen Wilson. It's like something else. But I don't know what it is. Maybe I can look it up.
Oh, it's called
Do we know?
Marry Me. Yes.
No, that's the one with Owen Wilson, but I thought there was a newer one, like another something that I saw her like on a carpet the other day.
Halftime?
Maybe. I don't know.
Netflix movie?
Oh, it could be that. Yeah. Has to be that. I don't know. So I've been seeing her on a carpet recently.
She had a documentary come out on Netflix too.
Maybe that's what it was. I saw literally a clip of her like 2 days ago on a carpet that was like brand new, and I was just confused as to like what it was. But something interesting, actually, I want to bring this up. I guess J-Lo in this documentary Halftime, people were saying, or she said that it was the worst idea to share the Super Bowl stage with Shakira. And I'm not going to go in and read the article. I assume she means something like, why can't it be just like one at a time, or why can't it be just Shakira, or why can't it be just me? J-Lo doesn't strike me as like a bitch who wants like the stage all to herself. She is definitely somebody who is like, why can't one woman just headline the Super Bowl? Like, I'm sure it's that vein that she's talking in. And I don't disagree with that, but we fucking loved the Super Bowl halftime show with J-Lo and Shakira. I thought that was an unbelievable show. These two incredible women coming up here singing fabulous songs. Both of them can dance their fucking ass off. They had amazing outfits. I loved it. I don't know what she was talking about. Maybe it was hard to deal with or hard to work with. I don't know, but that's crazy. But yeah, she and Ben Affleck, they're just getting hitched, I guess. I guess she's cool with him still smoking cigarettes all the time. I don't know if I could date a full-time cigarette smoker. I occasionally will have a cigarette when I'm drunk. I'll puff on a vape whenever there's one around. I don't care. But real cigarettes, especially in the morning with coffee, which is, I know Ben Affleck does it all the time because we see those horrible fucking paparazzi photos of him drinking coffee like he's dying with a cigarette in his mouth all the time. And I don't know if I'd be able to handle a lover like that. I think it's fucking gross, because the smell is so bad, especially in the morning. Oh, I smelled like somebody smoking a cigarette as I was getting off the train this morning, and it was like, 10 a.m. or whatever. Too early for that smell. It's just too early. I can't handle it. I don't like it. Blah, 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 blah. All right, let's move on. Kim and Kanye Instagram beef. Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. Well, I feel like the Kim and Kanye beef has been going on just like since the minute that Kim decided, like, we're getting a fucking divorce. Obviously, her relationship with Pete started sometime in the fall, I want to say, because that's when Kim was on SNL, maybe fall, winter time. And that's really when this kicked into high gear. It is actually so fucking insane that Kanye West was like writing songs, diss tracks, making claymation videos, like murdering Pete Davidson in the fucking ground. Like, I feel like we didn't talk about that enough. Like, I feel like it kind of came up and everybody was like, hey man, this is a little weird and like uncool. And he was like, nah, I'm doubling down and I'm gonna keep going with this bullshit. And it's bizarre. I think that I learned so much from catching up with the Kardashians yesterday, but one of them said, maybe it was Kim in a conversation, maybe it was Chris, I forget, in conversation, that you never want to badmouth the other parent in a divorce situation to the kids. You always want to like build them up no matter what, even if you're having like a hard time, because eventually they're going to see everything online, they're going to know all these stories and whatever. And I feel like that is something that is going to look bad for Kanye later. I feel like they have this vibe in their house that, people come in, like, husbands come in and out, whatever it is, but everybody just stays a part of the family. And sure, they have their little spats or whatever, but generally speaking, it's fine. I feel like when North is older and she's, say Kim and Pete get married, say he hangs around for a long time, and it seems like he is kind of in there for as long as Kim will let him ride this ride. But I think that, they'll grow to like him and see him as a person, and then when they get older, they'll see like Kanye going off on this man who they love and is now a part of their family, and they're gonna be like, well, what the fuck? Like, I don't know what's going on here. That would be my fear when it comes to posting that kind of shit on Instagram. But I guess, Kanye doesn't think like that. Kanye is he's just out here dissing. He just wants to make sure that his message has gotten across, that some shit's going down. I don't know. Have we heard from Kanye in a while? Gia, have you
No,
seen
he's
him?
been kind of MIA. He's with that girl, Cheney Jones or whatever her name is.
Cheney Jones. Oh yeah, I saw her. His birthday was the other day, right?
Yeah.
She was like, leave him alone on his birthday.
Yeah.
Some shit like that.
Yeah, he's really kind of been radio silent,
Yeah,
social media wise.
He's been chilling. Maybe they were like, listen, you got to. I think he did too. They had that like Balenciaga thing downtown, right? Was that Balenciaga that they had in like in the financial district in New York? They had like a fashion show recently down there.
I'm not sure.
And Kanye was there. It was a whole thing. I think it was Balenciaga. It might have been a different brand. But
yeah, I was gonna say because I don't know if it's Balenciaga.
Kim is Balenciaga now, but
yeah.
I just feel like I don't know why I'm thinking that. It was still
It could have
that.
easily been
Let's see,
Balenciaga.
Kanye, Balenciaga. I'm gonna look it up. Yeah. It was Balenciaga's, like, I don't know. It was like a runway show they did randomly a couple of weeks ago, and it was really kind of random, and that's the last time I think we saw him. So whatever. I hope he's doing well. I hope he's figuring it out. I hope the family is nice. I will say this about Kanye on the show. At one point, he picks up the girls his daughters to go to school, and he picks them up in a fire truck, which was awesome. It was just cool for the kids. They're making the noises, whatever. He's in the truck with them, and it was really sweet because I feel like we all have now, like, not villainized Kanye. I mean, I have a little bit for sure, have like hated how he's handled this whole thing and thought he's acting like a little bitch about like his divorce. And yeah, sure, he wants to get back with his wife, but it's like, you know, get yourself together, control yourself, especially for the future of your children. We're only gonna see this on the internet, whatever. He is a very sweet dad, and that's very clear. So I think that maybe all these things I'm saying right now will be null and void because he does seem like an amazing dad to his kids, and he seems just like a sweet guy. And I've never seen him like be so nice than how he was when he was like riding this fire truck with his kids. He was just being like a big kid himself. I feel like Kim has said that a lot, and I could see the appeal there. I was like, this is sweet, this is nice. Okay, Kanye, we'll let it slide, whatever. But all right, let us hit a break really quick, and then we'll come back, finish these up, and get into a couple of moments that I love of this past year. And welcome back to On the Other Line. I'm your host, Kelly Keegs, blah, 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 blah. We have been talking about pop culture all day. I'm excited about it. Let's get into more of these DMs. Let's try to get through them all so I can talk about the shit that I want to talk about at the end. Rihanna's baby. Oh my God, finally she had this baby. I feel like the only thing that I remember of 2022 so far is Rihanna being pregnant and all the outfits that she wore while she was pregnant. It just was like, I feel like she has been 9 months pregnant for the entire time. Like it's just based on the outfits. They all accentuated her bump. They all were fabulous. I've never seen like, people don't always, dress to accentuate their baby bump. Like, I feel like that's a very glamorous thing to do. That's a very, like, you gotta be confident to wanna do that. You have to feel good about yourself. And when women are pregnant, they're not always feeling like, hey, I'm gonna like be as scantily clad as possible. But of course, Rihanna pulls it off, continues to pull it off. She does anything she wants to do at all times. And pregnant, all this shit's going on, still looking fabulous, despite the fact that A$AP Rocky's getting like arrested left and right. He had all that drama too. I don't really know the details on that drama. I felt like it was like a weird circumstance. He got like arrested at an airport or something bizarre. I don't fucking know. All I know is that I hope that the baby is happy and healthy and that they are, stress-free. Let's bring this baby into an environment that has no stress. That the dad's out of jail and mom's looking hot still. So. Let's all just, I don't know. That drama was nuts. I felt really bad about Rihanna freaking the fuck out, or she didn't freak the fuck out. She said nothing about it, but I felt bad that all that like arrest stuff, whatever the fuck was going on, was like the minute Rihanna was about to give birth. So thank God the baby is out, happy, healthy, whatever. Let's move on. Johnny Depp winning. Oh yes. Well, Sissy, we mentioned it a little bit before. This, the trial with Johnny Depp and Amber Heard was something of the likes I've never seen. Like it just was so crazy. And now present day, I keep seeing that that we have like whatchamacallit, that he is still getting mobbed by fans to the point where he has to have security like basically carry him through the hordes of fans like in the UK and stuff. I don't know about all that. Like I feel like this whole case was just a showcase of them both being horribly shitty to each other, and like that was pretty much it. Obviously, technically Johnny Depp wins, but the both of them were just real pieces of shit to each other the entire time. So I don't know if we need to be like banging down doors to have Johnny Depp sign a Jack Sparrow poster. Like I think that we can all just stay home. We don't need to do all of that. But okay, I'm gonna go down my little list of things because we only have a couple minutes left, and I wanna talk about the things I wanna talk about because it's my show. So I wanna talk about things that happened this year. Paris Hilton getting married. Our girl Paris is married. She had her show on Peacock. She's wonderful. I love her. I love Paris Hilton so much. Also, Adele canceling her Vegas residency. That was fucking crazy drama. She was like crying on the phone to her fiance or whatever for a while, and then they bought a house a week later. She said like, I'm not ready to perform this. That was such a big deal. After she had that like beautiful concert with that I forget where that was, at the observatory, I think, in like LA somewhere. Crazy shit. The Royals. The Royals are all over the news because of the Queen's Platinum Jubilee. Obviously, I've been wanting to talk about it. There's too much honestly, to even get into. We'll talk about, we got to see Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's baby for the first time, Lilibet. What a fucking cute baby. That baby is just like a carbon copy of Prince Harry. Like, that's just Prince Harry as a baby, like in a dress. It's nuts how much it looks like Harry. And, you know, congrats to the Queen. She's still kicking, 96 years old, still watching the throne. We had Prince Louis being a little fucking brat, honestly. I'll say it. I don't care. That kid, it was like not that cute. Like at first he was making silly faces and he's playing with his siblings, whatever. When he was like putting his hands over Kate's mouth in the middle of all this shit, oh my God. I see shit like that and I'm like, no, that she is a better parent than I would ever be, because I would like, I would carry that kid right out of there and just like lock him in a room. I'd be like, nope, you're an asshole, get out of my face. You just put your hand over my mouth, have some respect. Also, Euphoria. Euphoria has changed like pop culture forever, I think. Like Euphoria has molded the outfits that people wear, the things that they're doing, the kind of parties that they're throwing, the way that we see relationships, the way that we tolerate like drug behavior. It's just it's wild, the effect that Euphoria has had. And I feel like this year especially, it's just been nonstop. Euphoria, Euphoria, Euphoria. Brooklyn Beckham and Nicola Peltz getting married. That was exciting. Just a couple of rich people getting married, good looking, whatever. Rumor though that Nicola and Victoria don't get along very well. I don't know where that like came from. I feel like, I don't know who posted it, maybe TikTok or something, but I heard that. Anna Delvey. I can't believe we almost forgot about my queen, Anna Delvey, the best con artist of all time. She's still in jail. Actually, she's not really she's in jail, but she's like in between. Like, she's trying not to get deported, so she's staying at the center, whatever the fuck, I don't know. But she's doing interviews from jail all over the place, which I think is unbelievable. She just had like a art event where she virtually came into it to like give a speech. It was crazy. I don't know. So we have not seen the last of Anna Delvey. That is a fact. The Britney Spears and Jamie Lynn sister fighting that was going on, that was fucking nuts. Jamie Lynn on Call Her Daddy, that was crazy. And last but not least, something, I'll just talk shit about this on our way out. The ugly fucking Miu Miu skirt that just looks like a piece of fabric over your vagina. Like, it's the most disgusting skirt I've ever seen. They shoved every fucking celebrity into it this spring, trying to make that skirt happen. It was hideous. It's still hideous. They have switched up their look a little bit. Now Sydney Sweeney's wearing a Miu Miu skirt on the MTV Awards carpet. Way different skirt. It was sparkly, it was longer, it was actually cute, just with a little side slit. I don't love the low rise. I'm not a low rise girl. I never really was. This Miu Miu skirt, I don't even have a picture of it. I should have included a photo of it. Check the Twitter, check whatever for it. Okay, just check whatever. We'll see you next week. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Goodbye.